My name is Nelson, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this documentary which explores a subject, an important subject: how to become a successful employee, how to become a successful professional in the 21st century, how to use your time, your talent, your skills, your experience to become a millionaire, to become very wealthy. How do you do that? How do you free yourself from years of frustration, from years of struggle, politics, conflicts with colleagues, conflicts with the managers, career stagnation? How do you use your time, your talent, your skills, your experience to create extraordinary business? This documentary will change your life. It will change the way you think. It will show you the problem, and it will also show you the solution. So if you are ambitious and you want to become successful, using your time, your talent and experience, watch this documentary because it's very powerful. The Penguin employee strategy is very powerful. It will transform your life. Let's start. What is a Penguin employee? We look into the picture because the picture tells a story. It's the story of your life. It's the story of your friend. It's the story of your colleague. It's the story of my life. The picture shows that a few years ago, two ambitious dreamers, they jumped into the river. They jumped into the river because they had goals, they had dreams. They wanted to become successful employees. They want to be able to put food on the table, pay a mortgage, have financial independence, be able to help the children. So some went to university, others to college, and they learned a profession, a collection of skills. Some became accountants, others became politicians, journalists, electricians, cleaners. These are employees. They jumped into the river. Shortly after jumping into the river, they realized that they were surrounded by dinosaurs. And these dinosaurs were ferocious, were very competitive animals. The two dreamers, they realized that in order to survive, they needed to evolve. So they evolved and became dinosaur employees. But within the same river, there were a small number of employees, of professionals who became penguins. So we have a river and three characters: dreamers who evolved and became dinosaur employees, and the dinosaur employees, a small number, evolved and became penguins. The dinosaur employees were the 99% of the river. Let's remember this: the river symbolizes an industry. We will say accounting. So a student completed his degree, jumped into the river because wants to have a mortgage, wants to have financial independence, became an employee, worked for a large firm. But shortly after joining the firm, realized that it's very competitive. There are politics, like politics are everywhere in business, and he had to compete with colleagues for promotion, for a pay rise, for position, for reputation. This is what's happening to 99% of employees in the world. The picture in your screen shows what's happening to 99% of people who go to university or they go to college, get a degree and become employees. So in the river, we have three characters. Dreamers, they want to put food on the table, have a mortgage, get married, they have a financial independence, travel, they become employees. Dinosaurs, the dinosaurs are experienced employees who have to fight for survival. The penguins, penguin employees are individuals, are professionals who earn millions, selling the time, the skill, the talent and experience. This documentary will show you, will give you a glimpse, it will introduce you to the psychology, to the strategy on the penguin employee, how you can use your talent and experience to become a very successful entrepreneur. So we have a river, we have three characters. The river symbolizes an industry. We talk about accounting, we'll talk about speech therapy, we'll also talk about coaching. It doesn't matter your profession, it doesn't matter how many years experience you have, your location, you will become a very successful individual, a very successful professional if you use the Penguin employee strategy. So the dreamers, a lady from England called Karen, she went to university. when she was young. She got a degree as a speech therapist. After getting a degree, she went and worked for the NHS. But shortly, 6 months into the NHS, she realized it's a big organization. There are many speech therapists. They are competing for the same. They get a salary, but they want to be promoted. They want to be recognized. They want a pay rise. She worked there a way out, but at one point it became clear to Karen that in order to progress in her career, she had to leave the company. So she left the company, went into a different company, and same story. She found experienced employees who were prepared to fight, who were prepared to compete for promotion. So Karen was a dreamer who jumped into a river called speech therapy or National Health Service, and she had to evolve and become a dinosaur. Many years ago, myself, I jumped into a river which is called IT. I became a multilingual analyst for IBM. So I worked for IBM. When I got there, I realized that I had no chance. I had colleagues who had been there for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. They saw me as a threat. So competition, sabotage. This happens in every single industry. In many companies, there are politics. So I went for IBM. From IBM, then I moved into AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca, then I moved into Symantec. So this is what's happening to 99% of dreamers. They get into an industry, they want to be promoted, but they don't have the experience. They are forced to leave. The next stage, what happens to dreamers is that they evolve and become dinosaurs. The dinosaurs of the ancient world were masters of competition. They were experts. They survived. They knew how to survive, but they didn't thrive. The dinosaurs of the corporate world are very experienced individuals, 5, 10, 15, 20 years experience. But then they're not thriving. Why they're not thriving? Because they're selling their time and experience to the wrong audience. So I evolved and became a dinosaur. Then I realized that in order to thrive, I had to change my mindset. I started to learn and to research, and I discovered the problem. The problem of 99% of employees. The reason why 99% of employees become dinosaur employees on the verge of extinction is because they're selling the time, the skill, and experience to the wrong audience. So what's the problem? Why experienced, talented employees with the 5, 10, 15, 20 years experience are struggling? Why many employees around the world are forced to spend years fighting to be recognized, fighting for a pay rise? Why are many employees, dreamers, talented individuals evolve and become dinosaurs? Architects, lawyers, accountants, teachers, coach, why are they forced to survive? Because the dinosaurs, remember, they could survive, they couldn't thrive. They eventually become extinct. The way an employee in the 21st century, a dinosaur employee, becomes extinct is through redundancy, pay freeze, pay cuts, staff reduction, change of management, outsourcing. A company I work for, AstraZeneca, outsourced the IT department into India, so I became irrelevant. IBM closed its office in the Northwest, I became relevant. I moved to the south of England. Symantec closed its office and moved to Reading. I became irrelevant. So you are always forced to change, to move. From my experience as a dinosaur employee, you can move to different companies. You get maybe a pay rise of maybe £100 or 500 pounds, but it's the same politics, it's the same. You have to survive. But then how do you escape? How do you learn how to thrive? What's the problem? Is the employee? Is the lack of talent? Is personality or experience? No. The problem affects many employees. It's called audience. I was talking to a friend, and my friend is an architect, and he's struggling. He works very hard, long hours, he makes money, but it's not enough. He's not getting millions in payment. I said, the problem is not you or the company working for, or your boss. The problem is the audience. So I said to him, there are three types, we human beings, there are three types of audiences that we have to satisfy in order to become successful. So to illustrate this, I'll tell you the story of a politician, a British politician called Philip Hammond. He was a member of the Conservative Party. and he became a chancellor and home secretary. He disagreed with Brexit and he didn't like the prime minister, so he resigned. Well, they actually expelled him from the party. But a few months after he was expelled from the party, he received he became a peer, a life peer. He became a lord. Now, shortly after he became a lord, he became advisor to the Saudi Arabia government. He also became partners in several firms, investment firms. So Philip Hammond was an MP. He has a wife with 3 children. And then he became an MP for several years. It depended on the will of the voters. But later he changed his employment and he became advisor to the Saudi Arabia government and partner in several firms. So how much money did he get from the Saudi Arabia government? Millions. How much money did he get from the voters and Conservative Party? Not much. That was a marketing exercise. So the story of Philip Hammond shows us that an individual, a professional, an employee, has access to 3 audiences. And to become successful in your life, you have to please the 3 audiences. The first audience, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your children, and your friends. This is the first audience. If you want to become successful in life, you have to please the first audience. There is a problem. The first audience is an organic audience. We don't pay them. We just have to be very nice, very decent, very responsible. They will love us. One day we go to school and we are told that we have to spend the rest of our lives pleasing the second audience. The second audience, our bosses. So we get university degrees, we get college, we get training in order to become excellent employees. So the second audience is made of your employees and the shareholders. So in a large company, KPMG, shareholders, you don't even know who they are. Your manager, your boss, the shareholders, you have to please them. Because if you don't please them, you are out of work. They will fire you. The problem with the second audience is the following. They have access, they see human beings as commodities. So they can get freelancers, they can get new migrants coming into the country, they can work for free or less. They see human beings as a commodity that can be replaced. So you can go to work. If you don't like your salary, if you don't like the amounts of money they pay you, you leave. They'll find someone else tomorrow. This is the problem of 99% of employees, the dinosaur employees, okay, who have to compete in order to survive. They struggle, they spend years trying to satisfy the second audience. So this is the problem. We have been educated, brainwashed to please the boss, to do everything we can to keep our job, to survive. We can survive, we can't thrive. It takes years for us to pay our mortgage. We can't travel, we are in debt, we have children, we have to go on maternity leave, we are struggling. But we have to keep going to work, otherwise the tap is turned off. So we have the first audience, our friends and relatives. The second audience, our bosses. So Philip Hammond, he spent his life depending on voters, his career, depending on voters and the Prime Minister. He worked under David Cameron, Theresa May and Boris Johnson. He didn't like Boris Johnson, so he was forced to get out. So in your life, if a new boss comes, doesn't like you, or a new manager, you will eventually get out. As a professional, you are educated to worship the boss, because the boss gives you the means to pay the bills. So then you spend the rest of your life, your consciousness, your mindset is about paying bills. Yes, you might get £100,000 a year, you still have to pay the bills, so you have to go to work. Or you work from home in the 21st century. But also, you can be replaced, you are a commodity. In the 21st century, now this started in the Industrial Revolution, by the way, in the north of England, in Manchester, is when the bosses, the owners of factories, realized that they were dealing with commodities. So the dreamer who jumped into the river, became a dinosaur, also became a commodity. How do we escape? We have the third audience. Philip Hammond, he became advisor for the Saudi Arabia government. So he didn't know the Saudi Arabia government. This is the third audience. As a professional, as an employee, you have access to a third audience. The third audience is made of people, stranger, you don't know who they are, people who like maybe your content, or people who need your skills and experiences. Because you make a living independent of your origin or profession. You make a living selling your time, your talent, your skill and experience. The problem is that you sell your talent, your time, your skill and experience to the second audience. The key is the third audience. The third audience are people, you don't know who they are, you don't know where they live, but they know you. They know you because of what you represent, of what you stand for, because of the skills and the experience you sell. An example to illustrate this: Cristiano Ronaldo, famous football player, plays for Manchester United. In 2021, he made 70 million. Someone paid him 70 million. It was not Manchester United, because Manchester United is his boss. Let's go back. Cristiano Ronaldo, first audience, girlfriend and children. Second audience, Manchester United, the boss. The third audience, he got 70 million pounds from the third audience, are people who bought his brand, sponsors, people who love what he does all across the world. So the third audience are people who need your time, your skill and experience. To become a Penguin employee, a millionaire, in less than 5 years, you need to take your time, your talent, your skill and experience and turn that experience, turn that love and passion, years of experience, into a digital product. The digital product will become the main food, the main product of the third audience. And this is the beauty of this. Let's say the second audience, your boss, pays you £1,000 a month, okay? You have to spend 30 days going to work, many hours to get £1,000 or £2,000 or £3,000. If you use your time, your talent and skills to create a digital program, you sell it for £3,000. You only need 3 people to buy for you to make £9,000. So you can make a huge amounts of money selling your skills, your time and experience without even being there. We as a company, we take your talent, your vision, your experience, and transform that into a digital program that can be sold to millions of people around the world. Okay? So Cristiano Ronaldo, he made 70 million by selling his time, talent, skills and experience brand to millions of people across the world. So he is a Penguin employee. He's striving while many dinosaurs, football players, are struggling to survive. They have the talent, they have the skills, they have experience, but then they're selling the time to the wrong audience. This is the problem. An example to illustrate this: Howard Schultz, the current owner of Starbucks, he went to Starbucks in 1982. He became marketing director of Starbucks. He didn't found Starbucks. One day in 1983, Starbucks sent him to Milan on a business trip. When he got to Milan, he realized that the Italians love coffee, they love culture, they love refinement. They had names like cappuccino, frappuccino, latte. Starbucks at the time only sold a bag of coffee. You get into a Starbucks in Seattle, you get a bag and you went home to make your coffee. He returned to the United States and said, look, let's sell a culture, let's transform this. They said, no, we don't have time. That's a strange business model. He left. He left Starbucks, so he became a dinosaur in conflict with the management. It happened to 99% of employees. Then he created his own company called Il Giornale. Il Giornale had in Seattle, in the US, had opera, Italian culture. He had names, different types of coffee. In 2 years, he created 2 branches, 3 branches. A year later, 1987, 1988, Starbucks said, hey, we are struggling. Would you like to buy the rights of Starbucks? Yes. He bought Starbucks. He changed his name, Il Giornale, to Starbucks. He became a millionaire. He became a billionaire. Here is a question for you. Howard Schultz was an employee of a company called Starbucks. Was there any chance he could have been paid $1 billion, become a billionaire by working for somebody else? Remember, marketing director, he was selling his time, skills, talent, and experience to the owners of Starbucks. There was no way Starbucks could have paid him $1 billion. He became a billionaire by using his time, his experience, his talent, and skills to sell them to the third audience. Every single day, millions of people around the world, they go to Starbucks to buy frappuccino, cappuccino, latte. They have no clue who the owner is. They have not heard of Howard Schultz. They don't know Howard Schultz. They don't know him, but they know the brand, they know the experience, they know the talent which is sold in a shop called Starbucks. So he became a billionaire by becoming a Penguin employee. So let's go back into the beginning. Two ambitious dreamers jump into a river because they wanted to fulfill their dreams. They wanted to become successful. They wanted to put food on the table, have a mortgage, have a beautiful car, have financial independence. They evolved and became dinosaur employees. Like the dinosaurs of the ancient world, they became extinct to redundancy, outsourcing, stress, disease, conflicts, politics in the office, pay freeze. After COVID, you will have a pay freeze for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Salary is not going up. The quantity of work is going up. The only way you can escape professional extinction is by becoming a Penguin employee. Howard Schultz is a Penguin employee. In the United States, a story of a lady who spent 10 years working for a coach. She was the director of a content. She worked very hard, she was respected, she was well paid. One day, she told the boss, I want to create my own thing, I'm leaving. She left. She used her time, her talent, her experience, her skills to create a product which is sold online. I bought a product. I live in the UK, she's in the United States. I never met her. I don't have to go there. So the key is that she moved from being a dinosaur employee to a Penguin employee. Now, how much money did she make in 10 years, in the following 10 years? How much money did she make? 5,000, 10,000, 10 million? No, this lady made $30 million. So her journey tells us that the wealth that you're looking for, the wealth that moved you to jump into a river and become an employee, architect, accountant, writer, supervisor, coach, manager, the wealth that you're looking for is within you, is already inside you. My goal is to help you to extract the wealth within you, is to extract the wealth. The wealth is already there. You could become a millionaire in 2 years. You could become a billionaire in 5, 10 years, selling your time, your skills, your experience, and your passion. That's what we do here. We approach employees, talented employees, ambitious employees, and show them how to create extraordinary businesses. You don't have to invent another computer or an app or a software. You don't have to remortgage your house to get into real estate. No, you already have the talent. You already have the skills. They are called your experience. So the challenge is not whether the strategy works. The question is not whether you can become a Penguin employee. It's how do I do it, Nelson? What do I need to do? How long does it take? It takes less than 2 months to create a product that can be accessed online all over the world. Remember, the third audience, the people who need your time, your skills and experience, they don't know who you are. At the moment, they don't know you physically, personally, they don't know you because you never present yourself to them. You spent your life, the last 10, 20, 30 years of your life, 40 years, 50 years, depending how old you are, you spent your life trying to please the second audience. I need a job. You move from one company to another. I moved from several companies. I work for IBM, AstraZeneca, Symantec, Lightrooms, BMS, global companies. I speak 7 languages, so I'm attractive to employees. The problem is, I can move a job. The salary doesn't change that much. I still have to go to work, or I can have to work from home. One of my friends, he jumped into a river and became a security guard. They paid him £10 an hour, so he had to spend 10 hours in order to make 100. And then he had to spend 10 days in order to make 1,000. I said, no, let's create a program that costs £1,000. So the profit margins are very high. You don't have to leave your home. What do I need to do, he said. I said, it's your time, it's your experience, it's your talent, it's your passion. We can transform all these experiences into a powerful product. If you're an accountant, you could create the manual for accounting. All the accountants, they're about to jump into the river. They need your skills. They need your talent. So if you're interested in wealth, serious wealth, millions in profit, join our program and you'll be amazed. We'll provide you everything you need to succeed. So I'm delighted to invite you to join our program, The Penguin Employee. Evolve. You are a dreamer. You want to put food on the table. You want to have a mortgage. You want to travel. You want to give resources, assets, financial assets to your children. Join our program and learn how to transform your life. Howard Schultz, he jumped into the river and became an employee. And he spent several years, more than 10 years of his life being an employee. When he got out, he used his time, talent, experience, and skills to create $1 billion business. He's a billionaire. He didn't invent any software. He didn't write Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. He didn't become the next Shakespeare. He just used the wealth that was already hidden inside him. Let's look into the analogy. We have a mine, a gold mine. In order to get the gold, you go deep. And you extract the gold. You are a gold mine. You have wealth in you. Now, with my team, with my passion, with my dedication, our task is to go into the gold mine, you extract the gold. I don't know how many years experience you have, I don't know what's your profession, it doesn't matter. We'll extract the gold and we're going to sell the gold to millions of people across the world. You will become a Penguin employee. It has been an absolute pleasure having you to watch this documentary. If you're interested in these powerful, life-changing ideas, evolution, it's your time to evolve. If you're interested in evolution, I'm delighted to invite you to join us and become one of our students. A lady called Karen, she was a speech therapist, struggling to make ends meet, struggled to be heard, to become relevant. She joined our program. We taught her how to become a writer, because you have to write a book. We'll help you how to write a book. She became a Penguin employee. And then she started to publish content in US magazines. She is on Amazon. She's on YouTube. She's respected. She's now engaging with a third audience. The problem is not you. It's not your profession. It's not your boss. The problem is the psychology. It's the mindset which you got at school and the university. The psychologist said, spend your life begging for a job, begging to please your manager, who has his or her personality, can't be pleased. So you spend your life doing that. You are wasting your talent. Let's move. Let's evolve. Let's become a penguin. Let's please the third audience. So if you are an employee, if you are a professional and you want to become extremely wealthy, I'm delighted to invite you to join the Penguin Employee Program. Said, it's been a pleasure having you. I hope this documentary has helped you to understand your journey, your professional journey. Why you work hard with years of experience, with talent, you are forced to deal with politics. You're forced to deal with bureaucracy. It's not you, it's the psychology. It's the mistake of spending years selling your talent and your experience to the wrong audience. My goal, my task is to help you to evolve and become a Penguin employee. Click on the link below, join us and learn how to transform your finances and the life of your friends and relatives. Extremely wealthy. We're talking about high-level capital here through your talent. I will repeat the message. You are the gold mine. You are a gold mine. There is gold in you. Your talent, the years of experience are gold. The task of an employee is not to get another job. The main task of an employee is to create a program, a digital program that can be sold to the entire world. Welcome to my world. It's a very profound experience. The Penguin employee is a very profound strategy that works. It works for me, it works for my student, it will work for you. Join us today.